So we'll start with a prayer and a small prayer. Um, that is Asatoma Sadgamya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So it's like taking us from ignorance to knowledge, from darkness to light. And starting with the session, that is one session on primarily on Krishna Niti, that is enhancing your supremacy from Krishna Niti, which is supremacy over here. We are discussing nothing but about the leadership. So let us enhance our leadership qualities. Let us um, in work on our leadership qualities, and that is what we'll be discussing about. And so we'll be primarily discussing about different events which have occurred in Shri Krishna's life, and on the base of those events, what we learn about Shri Krishna's philosophy, what we learn about his thoughts, what we learn about uh, what we say is about different qualities of leadership that he has applied in this particular era, and how we can apply them in current period. That is what we'll be focusing on. So um, we all know that we all have heard about Shri Krishna. Okay, we all know Shri Krishna is God and all that. So that all are Hindus. So we all know about. There's no non-Hindu. So we are all aware. That's the basic uh, assumption I'm going with. We all know about. We have heard of Shri Krishna, but knowing him is not that easy. I know it's difficult and it's tough. And welcome, Godfred. He has joined from Africa, Ghana, and so Krishna, we always worship him, and we have a lot of thoughts about him, and different stories about him we know about. But my one request would be that whatever we know about Shri Krishna is fine. But now let us take him in a different concept. He's God for many of us, um, but let us take him as an individual, and as an individual, whatever actions he has done, and what do we learn from those actions, what can we learn, and we can even apply in current world. That is what I would request you all to see from that perspective. So, and definitely there are no any intentions or any thoughts to hurt anybody's feelings, frankly speaking. So if you feel why I have stated something different, something else about Shri Krishna, you had some other thoughts. It is possible we may have different thoughts about Shri Krishna, and it's just an analysis of the thoughts about Shri Krishna's life, what I have tried to do and I have learned from my seniors and my teachers and all. And so in case if you love the lectures, you like it, then thank you very much. And it's all because of my teachers, I would say it is going good. And if you do not like it because of some mistakes, that is all because of me, primarily. So, and please forgive me for my mistakes. And so, continuing with and starting with the main session on Shri Krishna. So, around how many years back he had come, arrived on this earth, Shri Krishna? Any idea?
5,000 years, 10,000
Yeah,
years.
it was around 5,000 years. Some of them say it's around 7,000 years, 7,500, whatever. So around 5,000 to 7,000 years back. So around, normally it's say that 5,500 years back he was there on this earth. A person in flesh and blood was there, who was having all these qualities and who had carried out a lot of different activities. And that's what is Sri Krishna. And he has and we always come across um, two things which are very familiar, we are familiar about. One is Bhagwat Gita. Okay, we always come across Bhagwat Gita. And another thing we always come across is about Shrimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so we come across these two books, Bhagwat Gita and Shrimad Bhagavatam. Now, is there any difference between these two books? Just And we'll have an interactive session. Huh? It's not only Chetan Gandhi only going to speak. So any difference is there between Bhagavad Gita and Shrimad Bhagavatam? Any difference?
Yeah, I mean, the both books are altogether different. I mean, Bhagavad Gita, we know, I mean, it's a, if I say Bhagavad Gita is nothing but, it's a digest or, that full, I can say a full digest of all our scripture. And
Okay.
Shrimad Bhagavatam is nothing but Shrimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, which not only covers, the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, but also other aspect of, our scriptures
Okay.
based on the storyline.
Fine. Fine. Okay. Thank you,
So
Vishal.
this my, I mean,
Yeah. Your analysis and your understanding.
yeah,
Fine. Fine. So in fact, Bhagavad Gita, which we have often heard of, and Bhagavad Gita is nothing but a song which was sung by Shri Krishna. Okay, it was a song, and this song is comprising of 700 verses, and these 700 verses are discussing about do's and don'ts of life. So in Bhagavad Gita, we learn about what is to be done and what is not to be done, do's and don'ts. And this happened on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So what exactly happened in on this battlefield is suddenly both the both the parties of the army, that is Pandavas and Kauravas, they both gather on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and then Arjuna had certain questions and queries, and the whole battlefield becomes a classroom. Simple. And this classroom is a classroom where there's only a flow of question answers from a student. Questions are going on and answers are coming from the teacher. So the student over here is the battlefield becomes a, that is Kurukshetra battlefield becomes a classroom, and the teacher over here is Shri Krishna, and the student over here is Shri Arjuna. So Arjuna is asking lot of questions which are being answered in detail with convincing power by Shri Krishna to Arjuna, and we get to learn a lot of things from there also. And these lessons that we get to learn is about do's and don'ts, what you should do and what you should not do. In simple words, Bhagavad Gita equals do's and don'ts of life.
in
And
a
if we
poetic way.
sorry,
In a poetic way.
yeah, it's poetic also. And if we see about Shrimad Bhagavatam, it's about different pastimes of Lord Krishna. We get to know about different stories of Lord Krishna. So, in that case, we come across that Krishna had come in many forms. Okay? Sri Krishna had come in many forms, and one of the form is also he comes in a form of a book. And that book is none other than Shrimad Bhagavatam, which is nothing else but Sri Krishna himself. And in this book, we come across different stories of Sri Krishna and his avatars. So different avatars are there. So first, let us understand about Shrimad Bhagavatam, and then let us deep dive into Sri Krishna's stories. So Shrimad Bhagavatam comprises of Sri Krishna's stories. They have all the stories not only of Sri Krishna, but a lot of different avatars of Sri Krishna. Now we have come across that Lord Vishnu is there, and Lord Vishnu has 10 avatars. Okay, that is what generally we have come across. But what I have learned from uh, certain spiritual gurus and from the Shrimad Bhagavatam also, and a lot of other uh, teachers and all. In fact, Sri Krishna is one, supreme. He did not take any avatar. He did not take any incarnation. He's an avatari. And Sri Krishna had three forms of, from Sri Krishna, three forms of Vishnu comes out. And these three forms of Vishnu are Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Shirodakshaya Vishnu. So these three Vishnus are there, which have come from Sri Krishna. Okay. And from one of them, Mahavishnu, all these avatars have come. That is different avatars. So we can also take that ultimately these avatars are none other than avatars of Lord Vishnu. Yeah, we can also say these avatars of Lord Krishna.
Krishna.
Because it's not like Krishna is one of the avatar of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, but Lord Vishnu has come from Shri Krishna and in form of three forms as Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Now, so now let us focus on different avatars that we have. And as an avatar, when he came as a human form in Sri Krishna, he came as he is. He did a lot of things. He had a lot of pastimes we come across. And as Sri Krishna, we come across that he carried a lot of activities which gave a lot of lessons. Okay. And that is what we get to learn from Shrimad Bhagwat. Now, apart from this Shrimad Bhagwat, we should also be aware of there is something like Subodhini. One more scripture I'm talking of. And both are to be read. If we read Shrimad Bhagwat, okay, fine. But if we read Subodhini, it provides in-depth understanding about different pastimes of Sri Krishna. In Shrimad Bhagwat, we'll come to know what is the story. Sri Krishna ate butter. Okay, he stole butter from gopis. Basic. What is the meaning of that butter? Who are these gopis? What is that understanding? That is what we come across from Subodhini. So Subodhini is also one of the scripture, okay, and this was written by the, if I'm not mistaken, by the descendant of Sri Vallabhacharya ji. Okay, so it's like we have Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. These are the lessons given by us, by Shri Krishna. Then we have Shrimad Bhagwat, where you get to know about pastimes, about stories of Shri Krishna. And then we have Subodhini, which provides explanation, in-depth understanding. Why did Shri Krishna do and what was the meaning of all these things? So that is, and it's just, the understanding is very much spiritual and very much practical and a philosophical understanding we get to know from Subodhini. So when we study and analyze Srimad Bhagavatam and Subodhini, then you would understand about Sri Krishna who had played versatile roles during his whole lifetime. He had, apart from being a complete leader, he was also a strategist. He was a philosopher, a diplomat, rebel. He was a lover and also a wealth creator. So, we come to know that Sri Krishna had played many roles during his lifetime, and we'll be analyzing different roles that he has played. Okay, and accordingly, we'll be analyzing from leadership perspective. Okay, now as we were discussing about Shrimad Bhagavatam, which has been discussing about different avatars of Sri Krishna, and these Dasha avatars, if we see, are you all aware of this 10 avatars? If you've heard of, which the
Don't
first avatar is about fish. Okay, that's Matsya avatar, and there's a story that the fish saves all lives because the flood was going to come. So we get to learn different lessons from Matsya avatar also. The lessons we get to learn is about preparedness and foresight, and that is also a leadership lesson. Okay, leadership quality, where a person should be prepared. The fish had anticipated that there will be crisis, and so we should prepare for the future. He advises the rishi to arrange for the big boat and collect all the lives, all seeds of different lives that we have, and all animals and all species. He advised, and preservation of knowledge is what we learn from Matsya Avtar. Here, the Sri Krishna, in form of Matsya, ensure the survival of the Vedas, highlighting the leader's responsibility to safeguard vital information and wisdom. And from leadership perspective, we learn that effective leaders must be proactive. We cannot take action after things have happened. we should take action before things would turn out to be wrong or bad. I would request you to kindly mute. There's some background sound coming from few of the participants, so would request you to mute in case there's a sound in your background. Okay. So discussing about the leadership perspective that we learn from Matsya Avtar, which is again an avatar of Shri Krishna, that to be an effective leader, we have to be proactive. We should be looking at the potential threats and opportunities. If, for example, we had this COVID which had come up, okay, so we had started working on vaccines and all that, and we came up with not only those vaccines, but there were a lot of opportunities which had come up, business opportunities. Like we in India, I think we at that time we were the highest manufacturer of masks at that time, or the second highest manufacturer of masks, and many people took opportunities, to manufacture masks and different things from this opportunity of COVID which had come, the COVID pandemic which had come. So a leader must be proactive. He must also consider the threats which are going to come in future. So be prepared for the threats. Even we professionals, we are always ready for the deadlines. So now, okay, I have my board meetings, I'm going to have my filing, I have to do income tax return. So before that, I will see to it that all things I'm prepared with. I have my team well organized, well they are aware of, and so they are all ready to meet the deadlines. So any challenges which I'm going to face, I prepare myself. So that's the first avatar we are talking of, that is of Matsya avatar. Then we have is Kurma Avtar. Now,
So Chetan,
the tortoise. Yes,
so
yes,
you are basically going to let us know about one quality with each of the avatars, isn't it?
yes, yes.
Got it. Got it.
And then we'll also go to Shri Krishna's life events, where we learn about different leadership qualities and all that. So going with the, you joined late, so going with the basics, that Shri Krishna is the one main god, and we have different avatars of Shri Krishna. Okay. And so first we are and so these all qualities we are getting is none other than Shri Krishna's qualities only, in form of Matsya, in form of fish. Then we saw the second avatar. Second avatar amongst the Dasha avatars are the Kurma avatar, the tortoise, when Samudra Manthan happened and they all wanted nectar. Okay, they wanted Amrit, and because of which they wanted Samudra, they did Samudra Manthan. But that the mountain went down in the sea. So the tortoise, Kurma, in the form of tortoise, Shri Vishnu, lifts the mountain so that they could do the churning of the sea. Now, from that tortoise, we learn a lot of lessons. We first of all learn about patience and stability. As Kurma Avtar, as a turtle, he provided stable base during the churning of the ocean, demonstrating the power of perseverance. So we should have a lot of strong power with respect to patience. And as a leader, yes, patience is a must. Leaders needs to be patient to navigate different complex challenges and maintain stability during turbulent times and difficult challenges that we come across. So that we learn from Kurma Avtar, and also providing a stable foundation. So as a leader, we should nurture a sense of steadiness and reliability within our teams. And then only our team will have confidence on us and they'll be there with us. Else they will run away. They will leave the organization if there is no stability. And as a leader must provide a sense of stability during the time of any chaos or any problems which are happening. So that we learn as a leadership lesson from Kurma. Again, that's nothing but from Krishna. Then the third avatar was about the Vara avatar, where he takes the form of a boar. Okay, and as a boar, he deep dives into the ocean and lifts the Mother Earth, because Mother Earth was being taken away and drowned by the demon, that is Hiranyaksh. And he was a He was a very evil demon, and he was a brother of Hiranyakashipu. Okay, so Hiranyaksh was killed through this Vara avatar. So through this Vara avatar, we get the lesson of decisive action and courage that Shri Krishna has shown as Vara. He swiftly rescues the Mother Earth, showcasing the importance of decisive action in critical situations. Because once the Mother Earth is drowned, and it will create havoc, there would be no life on Mother Earth. And immediately Lord Vishnu took avatar. Okay, in, so that is Shri Krishna took avatar. And
Chetan bhai,
yes,
sorry interrupting. Uh, wasn't Hiranyakashipu, was it not the nursing avatar?
so that is brother Hiranyaksh. We are talking of Hiranyaksh in
Okay.
Vara avatar. And Hiranyaksh's brother is Hiranyakashipu, for which
Okay.
Narsi avatar was there. And for
Okay.
his brother Hiranyaksh, who was defeated, if I've said Hiranyakashipu, then there's a mistake from my side. Hiranyaksh was the one demon who had
Okay.
drowned the Mother Earth. Okay,
Mm.
to kill Hiranyaksh, he came as Vara, as a boar,
Okay.
as a wild
Okay.
boar he comes, and he swiftly lifts Mother Earth. Okay,
Mm.
and from there we also learn about protection is very important. So leader must protect those whom they are leading. So leaders must be, as a leadership lesson, we learn that leaders must be willing to take bold actions whenever necessary, and they should demonstrate courage in facing any adversities and challenges. Then after that, Vara Avtar, we have the Narsimha Avtar, one of my favorite Avtar. And Narsimha Avatar is a beautiful, lovely avatar. And why I would say as a favorite of mine is because, especially to save only one devotee. Okay, and that devotee is Bhakta Prahlad Maharaj. He comes all the way to save his one devotee because he has full faith on him. And apart from that, he doesn't really come as a normal form, but he comes in a total different form. Narsi Avatar, half lion, half human. Totally different form. Why a total different form? Because that was a requirement of that time. And that now Hiranyakashipu was the demon who was killed by this man lion avatar or Narsimha. So here also we learn that this Narsimha avatar is a total creative solution of Shri Krishna, isn't it? Because Hiranyakashipu, who was father of Prahlad, he had asked for a lot of boons. And amongst the boons, he had asked that I should not be killed by any animal, not by any humans, not by any god, demigods, ye, wo, none of them, and not during day, night, not in air, not on earth. Oh, lot of um, boons he had gathered. Conditional boons. Okay, okay, I will die, but not in during daytime, not night time, and all those things. So now, to fulfill his requirement of death, there was an out of box thinking. Okay, Hiranyakashipu felt that now I am all saved. I am well armored with the boons that I have got because I will not be killed. But now here is an out of box thinking of a leader. Okay, and he thinks differently. It's a creative form of avatar, because if we see fish is a normal fish avatar. It's a fish. Boar, turtle, they are exactly what they are, animals, if he comes in form of animals. But here is not even an animal and not even a human. It's both half. So again a creative thing which nobody would think of. So that's again a leadership quality. And so, as I've already shared, my favorite avatar, only for one devotee, for justice of his devotee, to take care of his devotee, he comes all the way to save him. And so, the lessons are about justice and protection. Narsimha's avatar, his appearance to protect Prahlad Maharaj, emphasizes importance of standing up for justice and protecting his devotee, okay, who is in that vulnerable situation because he was his father Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill him, literally wanted to kill him. So in those difficult situations, he comes as a Narsimha. And
One
again,
of
out of box
one of
thinking we came across. Yes, yes,
uh,
somebody wants to say? Yes.
yeah, yeah. One observation. So you're saying for Vara Avatar, he took care of this Hiranyaksh, and in
Hiranyakashipu.
Narsimha Avatar,
Vara Avtar,
he-
sorry, Hiranyaksh and Vara Avtar, yeah.
Hiranyaksh and Narsimha Avatar, Hiranyakashipu, and
Yes,
both were brothers.
yes,
So
both are
these
brothers.
both the avatars were like in quick succession, no?
Both
Or
the avatars were?
work in quick succession,
Yes, means in fact it was, if we see,
contemporary.
uh, if we see further depth, um, when Lord Vishnu was resting, okay, in Vaikuntha, there were um, Kumaras, okay, who the rishis who wanted to come, Sana, and I'm not getting the name. As Sanat Kumars, four Sanat Kumars.
Sanat Kumar.
Sankadik Muni.
So
Sankadik
Sanat
Muni.
Kumars, they come in the, and they are rishis. But these four Sanat Kumars, they come in the form of small children, 5 years old children. Okay, and they come to have darshan of Lord Vishnu. And Jai Vijay are the Dwarpal, are the watchmen, are the guards of Vaikuntha, and they do not allow Sanat Kumar to enter in. So Sanat Kumar, this Sanat Kumar, they curses this Jai Vijay, and they tell ki now you are being cursed, you will be away, going away from the Vaikunt on Mother Earth, you will be staying on Earth as humans, as, and you have to stay and live for your different lives. And they give them a choice. If you live a good life and you worship Lord Vishnu and Lord Krishna, then you will have 7 lives. And if you are enemy of Lord Vishnu, if you work as an enemy, then you will have 3 lives. The choice is yours. So Vijay decides we want to be enemy of Lord, but we want only 3 lives. We don't want to live 7 lives and then come back to Vaikuntha. So these Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu are considered as Jai Vijay of Vaikuntha. So they come in the form of Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu, who are enemies of Lord Vishnu. Okay, and whole life they have been enemies, and then Vishnu only comes and kills them. And then they ask also, and they tell, ask Lord Vishnu, okay, we are going as enemy, but one boon you have to give us, you have to fulfill one wish of ours, that whichever avatar we take, whenever we are coming on earth, you have to kill us.
Right.
And so he comes in
Uh,
different forms to kill
I
them.
think actually out of all the avatars,
Yes,
more famous, normally that we talk about Rama and Krishna.
yes,
Others
yes,
are little less. They get ignored. So
yes.
and we also learn that there was a gap of perhaps 2,000 years between Lord Rama and Lord Krishna.
That's again a question. Some of them say it's
No,
7,000 years.
one
Some of
second,
them
one second,
say,
one second, one second.
yeah,
They are in different yugas, and
Yugas.
the time periods is huge.
Right, right,
Time
right,
period is
right.
very huge.
uh,
Might yes, yes,
Sri
absolutely. So,
Krishna came
but
in
why?
Treta Yuga and Sri
Yeah.
Ram came in Dwapar Yuga.
Dwapar Yuga. So what matlab the small observation, not of so consequence, but just to keep the funda straight is
Yes, yes,
कि
please.
between Ram and Krishna there was a difference time gap of a total yug. But
Yes, yes.
whereas between Varaha and Narasimha, same period, matlab not
Same
of
face.
yug
And
is
very
very big.
same face.
One small request. One small request. Matlab, what I feel is it's better not to get into time discussion. I'll tell you, because with that we will not achieve anything.
No, no,
And
it's
yeah,
okay. Raju,
okay,
let
okay.
everybody express their views. And this time frame, Atulji, in
Yeah.
fact, it is like these time frames are being studied differently by different people, and all of them say different time frame. Like one of the lectures I've heard about, that person is saying 7,000 years back Shri Krishna came, and 7,000 years before Shri Krishna, around 14,000 years back, Shri Ram came. Okay, so some of them say 10,000, 5,000 years back Shri Krishna came, and 10,000 years back Shri Ram came. Okay, all of them have different calculations. They have their own methodology and own, um, I I would say, principles, scientific principles they have devised, they have worked out. Ki, as per me, these 5,000 years, 10,000 years, 14,000 years. But if we see, yeah, they had come long year, many years, but thousands of years back, and they had really come.
Right,
That
right.
is that faith we need to have. Now, as a simple funda, ki, after 100 years, maybe we may feel who Mahatma Gandhi, a person like Mahatma Gandhi cannot come, who never fought, was never ready to take weapons, or a person like Swami Vivekananda would have never come. Okay, because how can a person like Swami Vivekananda, who is an Indian from an Indian background, going to some foreign land and just mesmerizing everyone by one single speech, and just by telling two words, my dear brothers and sisters, and all that, just by two words, three words, you cannot mesmerize. So this is not possible. Such person would not have come. After a few hundred years, after a few thousand years, it is possible. People may not have, uh, may not agree. ऐसा कोई आया था. So something like that. So now there are a lot of different calculations are being brought up. So coming to that, so they had come many thousand years back. We can say that. And but yeah, there are different calculations at different places. Different. I've gone through many lectures, many videos, many other the scriptures also have gone through, try to go through and all. Everywhere different time zones are given, and different time frames are given. So let us now focus on. Uh,
Please go on with the flow.
okay. Then we have, so in leadership we come across from Narsima that we should uphold this ethical principles and ensure fairness. We cannot have we, so, and what is this fairness towards the human life, Prahlad Maharaj, and the humanity. So because Hiranyakashipu, the father of Prahlad, was creating great havoc. And to uphold these ethical principles and ensure fairness, Hiranyakashipu came. And as a leader, we should always advocate for our team members and protect them from injustice. Very important lesson we learn from Narsimha. Many times it is possible that leader may leave away their team members. Jaane to, usko, I'm not going to protect him. I'm not going to take care of him. Then he is not a leader. As a leader, he should always protect his team members. You cannot leave away your team members alone in difficulties and problems, and then you take care of yourself and you take care of your survival. That is a total wrong thing. So you should protect, and that protection, taking care of your team members, are the leadership lessons we get from Narsimha. Okay, then we have the next one is the dwarf form, and that is Vamana Avtar. Now, Vamana Avtar also, if you see, he came for Bali Maharaj. Okay, and this Bali Maharaj was a grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, and so you would see when Prahlad Maharaj was there, his uncle Hiranyakashipu, his uncle Hiranyaksha Vara Avtar was there. His father Hiranyakashipu Narsi Avtar was there, and his grandson Bali Maharaj Vaman Avtar was there. Okay, so during that phase, during that period era, three avatars come. Okay, and now this Vaman Avtar, where Bali Maharaj was a king of all full. He was like king of heaven. He was king of hell. He was king of the Mother Earth. So all full universe is king of everything, all earths. And over here, now he should be controlled. So as a Vaman Avatar now, as a dwarf, as a small young man, as a dwarf, so as a short man, Lilliput man, he comes and we get lessons from this avatar is about strategic thinking and humility. So Vaman Avatar, here we see that Shri Krishna as a Vaman, he is very clever and little shrewd also. So his clever approach to reclaiming heavens, because now heaven was in control of Bali Maharaj and he wanted to take it back. So what he did to reclaim this heaven, he highlights the power of intellect and humility. humility also is very, very important for a leader. Okay, a leader should always practice humility and avoid arrogance. Lord Vishnu could have come and just fought the battle with Bali Maharaj and could have won also. But he did not do that. He did not do any massacre killing, nothing. He just came as a small dwarf and won over Bali Maharaj by taking a promise from him. Simple, very tactfully using his intelligence and humility. So he comes to take Dakshina. Now, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, he himself is coming to Bali Maharaj for Dakshina to take alms. So that is humility. Or why should I go and take alms from a demon? He could say that. But no, he goes as a small Brahmin to take alms, to beg. So he goes for begging. Simple. And he just wanted 3 steps of earth, 3 steps of what wherever he places. And through those 3 steps, he gets everything heaven, earth, and all. And so here we understand the importance of intellect and humility, and we also understand the power of strategic thinking. So effective leaders needs to utilize strategy to achieve goals. And if we value strategic thinking and use intellect, then we can definitely achieve objectives, whatever we are going for, and any challenges we can come across. That is what we can do through these strategic thinking, and it should be developed, and this should be followed by any leader. So the leadership lessons from Vamana Avtar are these about bringing humility. Every person should be humble. We should develop humility and we should avoid arrogance. I'm something, I'm having all this knowledge and my juniors do not have much. That all things should never come across anywhere. Okay, if you are humble, then that is the quality of leader. If you are not humble, then you are not a leader. Then the next avatar.
One second. So,
Yes.
Chetan,
Yes.
you said also strategic thinking.
Yes.
So, Vaman, mein, what was the strategic thinking?
Not to fight the war. He came, he applied the strategy of peacefully get the kingdom, get whatever he wants. So he came as a dwarf, as a small, he came as a Brahmin, and he
Samjha,
came
samjha.
to
हाँ.
beg alms.
Yeah, got it, got it.
That strategy applied. युद्ध वुद्ध करके कुछ फायदा नहीं है, आराम से get it all things. That's then we have. So then the next avatar is Parshuram avatar, where we always find that Parshuram avatar with the warrior is there and the axe. Okay, and in fact, he comes as a son of a Brahmin, a rishi. So he was a Brahmin, born Brahmin, but his actions and deeds are of Kshatriya. You getting it? So he did not follow the principles of Brahmin, but he was following the principles of a Kshatriya. And we, at that time, the people were classified in these 4 varnas, that is Brahmin, Shudras, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. So Brahmin is carrying out activities of Kshatriyas, and at times we'll come across Kshatriya is carrying out activities of Brahmin. Okay, so here now, as a Parshuram, where he comes to kill all corrupt kings, all those kings who were creating havoc, who were not taking care of people. So he came to kill all those kings, and 21 times he swiped away whole earth from all kings. 21 times globally he massacred all kings. So the children were left. He used to kill the kings. Then the children used to grow, and if they were also bad and all, they were not good kings, kill them off. That is what he did 21 times. And from here we learn from Parshuram the discipline and righteousness. So Parshuram's actions against corrupt rulers and leaders and kings emphasizes the importance of discipline and upholding moral integrity. So leaders must maintain high standards of discipline and ethical conduct. So we come across a lot of other kings were there. Okay, King Dashrath, and there were a lot of his whole family line was there. So they were all alive. Lord Janak, King Janak, who was a Rajrishi, King Janak, he was there and his family. So only those kings were killed by Parshuram who were bad, who were not good kings, and who is to not take care of people, their subjects. So he's to kill those people, those kings which are not good kings, primarily. Okay, it's not like just killing all kings, but bad kings. Yeah, evil kings he is to kill, in simple words. And one more lesson we learn is there is a need to fight for what is right. Yes. So leaders must be willing to take action against injustice. So we should be willing to confront wrongdoing and uphold justice and maintain high standards of discipline and ethical conduct. These lessons we get to learn from Sri Parshuram, which is the sixth avatar of Shri Krishna or Lord Vishnu, we can say. So Lord Vishnu's sixth avatar we find is Parshuram. So we came across all these avatars. Then after Parshuram we have Sri Ram. Tomorrow we have his birthday also, Ram Navami. And so now Sri Ram comes as an ideal king. राजा कैसा होना चाहिए, लीडर कैसा होना चाहिए. So as an ideal ruler, as an ideal king, we get to have the avatar of Shri Krishna in form of Sri Ram. But one thing, even during Sri Ram, we always call as an ideal king as Ram Rajya. Okay, Ram Rajya jaisa hona chahiye. But even during that time, we did not have that idealness. Even at that time, there were a lot of things which are not correct. Okay. So we always aim to have the best form of kingdom. But having a perfect ideal kingdom was not even there at the time of Ram Rajya, if we see. Okay. And during Sri Ram's advent as a person, as a king, as a avatar, we get to learn a lot of lessons from him. And few of the lessons are follow the duty, honor, and righteousness. Now, his whole life, Sri Rama's whole life exemplifies the importance of fulfilling one's duties, upholding honor, okay, honoring the promise given by his father to his mother, and that also to his stepmother. Okay, so he honors the promise and adhering to ethical principles. Ethical principle everywhere. He was always ethical, even during the fighting of the war with Ravana. He wanted to be ethical. He once, after reaching Lanka, he sends a messenger and gives an opportunity to Ravan to have a peaceful solution and no fights be there. But since after, irrespective of trying all the means of no uh, opportunities were there, no chances of there to avoid war, he ultimately fought a war with Ravan and killed him. But he always wanted to adhere ethical principles. So even with Ravan, he applied ethics. So everywhere throughout his life, we learn about ethical principles from Sri Ram. And we also uh, learn from him about leading by examples. So leaders, they are often observed by their followers, by others. So leaders' actions should always reflect the values they wish to instill amongst their subjects, their team members. So if I want my team to be working hard, I myself should be working hard. I cannot I cannot just loiter around, and I cannot just I do time pass, I don't work, and I just make my team work and tell, you have to work late night, and I just leave. If I work, chalo, I want to leave. I want to go home. I want to go for my other activities. And I tell my team members, work up to 8 o'clock. That is not correct. If I am sitting, if there are emergencies, and if I have to, if emergency is there, you you have to be with your team, and then you have, so you lead by example. If you are there sitting late, then your team will also feel okay, let us support the boss and let us support the leader, in short. So leaders should always lead by examples and demonstrate integrity in their actions, and they should prioritize the greater good over personal desires. We may have a lot of personal desires, but personal desires should be given there should be a control over personal desires, and see what is the greater good, what is more important, which is going to give good, which will be good for everyone, which will be the best for the community at large, people at large. Give importance to that, give prioritize or priority to that, rather than giving priority to your own happiness. And in fact, from um, Kachid Sarga in Ramayan, in Kachid Sarga, when his younger brother Bharat goes to Sri Ram to get him back, you come back, brother, and you come and live and you rule the kingdom. That time, Sri Ram and his younger brother Bharat, they have a conversation. And in this Kachit Sarga, they have a conversation where Sri Ram, he does not tell directly, but indirectly gives leadership lessons. And these lessons are of governance. And this governance, in simple words, governance is nothing but taking care of people. So a king should take care of all people. And here, Sri Ram questions Bharat, different questions he asks. Do you take decisions after consulting your ministers, or do you take you decisions on your own? Are you a dictator, autocratic leader, or are you a democratic leader listening to your ministers? Then, do you take care of animals, your elephants, horses? Do you take care of flora and fauna? Do you take care of your Brahmins in the kingdom? Do you take care of the rishis? Do you give proper salary to your people? That is also you ask. Are you giving proper salary on time to all the um, soldiers and all that in the kingdom? All servants and soldiers are there. Are you giving them proper salary on proper time? Such simple questions is asking to Bharat, inflicting lessons of leadership, inflicting lessons of governance. And from this, we get to learn all these lessons. We get to learn about what should be done by leader. So through Rama Avtar, we get to learn these leadership lessons. Then, after Sri Ram, we have one of the most beautiful avatar, and in fact, it's not avatar, but Shri Krishna comes himself. Yes. So he stays in Golok Vrindavan. Okay. So he's in, we say Vaikunt. Vaikunt's capital is Golok. Like India's capital is New Delhi, and Vaikunt's capital is Golok Vrindavan. And in Golok, Shri Krishna stays with Srimati Radharani. So from there, Golok Vrindavan, Shri Krishna comes on Mother Earth as he is. And so it's not an avatar, but he is an avatari. He comes as he is, as Krishna in a human form. And in fact, few of the videos I have seen on YouTube, and they sound a little funny, but yes, to an extent. Many of them say Shri Krishna was not a human being, he was an alien. Okay? And so, one way we can say he was an alien, because anything who is not on earth is an alien. Anything who comes from outside earth is an alien. And definitely he came from Golok. He was not from earth. So, that way he is an alien. And so, but yes, so he comes on this earth in form of a human form. So, he comes as he is in flesh and blood. He was there, which many people would say no, he wasn't there. But there have been a lot of other, I would say, evidences are there, proofs are there, showcasing that yes, he did come. He did come. And we have few examples, like even Nidhi 1 is there, Nidhi 1 in Vrindavan, where it is said that even today he comes to play Ras with gopis and Srimati Radharani. And at night time, nobody's allowed to stay in that Nidhi one in Vrindavan. Reason? Because nobody is allowed to see Shri Krishna. He is a divine form. Nobody can see him. And if anybody sees him, they either lose their life, they lose their eyesight, and they become mad. Or
They can't speak anything actually.
they can't speak anything. They become mad because they are in that particular. If you see God, then it's like Hari Bol, no words to express. But yes, so um,
Chetan,
yes,
I can't stop myself but to say,
yes, please say,
तो
please.
बोलते हैं कि जो भगवान श्री कृष्ण को जो मनुष्य समझते हैं
हाँ,
और भगवान नहीं समझते हैं, अगर वो इंसान का आप दर्शन करो तो आपको नहा लेना चाहिए, आप वो उसको देख के भी अपवित्र हो जाते हो.
okay, ठीक है, ठीक है, okay. Thank you, Raju. Uh, but well, belief in Krishna and all that is your choice. Ultimately, we are going to focus from the leadership aspect. Okay, and yes, now when he comes as Krishna, which we'll be discussing in detail, we come across that we get to learn a lot of lessons from Shri Krishna with respect to wisdom, diplomacy, and strategic guidance. So over here we find that his role, in Mahabharata, in fact, the war of Mahabharata highlights the importance of all his wisdom, strategic thinking, and effective communication. Plus, adaptability also we get to learn where he we find that leaders must be able to adapt in different changing situations, and that is what Sri Krishna does. In every situation he adapts himself. He never grumbles about any situation, never ever grumbles, but adapts himself. So the leadership lessons we get to know is like we should cultivate wisdom and use strategic thinking to navigate different complexes and different complex situations and challenges and problems that we come across. See, we can have no life without these challenges and problems, but we have to face them with strategic thinking, and we can be successful. And plus, one of the important things, we should be an effective communicator and mentor as a leader. So to be a leader, one should be an effective communicator. So these are the lessons, basic I'm talking of. There are a lot of lessons which we'll be discussing in other sessions also on Sri Krishna. And then we have the next avatar that we always talk about is Buddha and even Balram. I would say even Balram is taken as one of the avatar of Sri Krishna, where he comes as brother of Sri Krishna. Okay, and from Balram we come across that again just. We have to be just. We have to fight and accept what is truth, accept what is correct, and that is what we learn from Balram. Many times he did not agree to a lot of things, but then after Sri Krishna explains them, then he accepts it and he does not fight for that. So he listens. We have to be a good listener. That I would appreciate about Balram. Many times he would be very annoyed. He was very short tempered to an extent, very angry, and but one thing we can learn about Balram from Sri Balram is a good listener. Many times he used to tell Krishna, "You just keep quiet. Don't tell me anything, else you will brainwash my mind." But then afterwards he would ask Krishna, you tell me now, what is the thing? And after listening to Sri Krishna, he gets convinced. No doubt, Sri Krishna's communication skills were very good, but listening, and he was an elder brother. That is also very important. We have to listen to juniors, younger ones also, and learn from them. It is not. So, as a leader, we learn that we should not be arrogant and we should not be a dictator sort of that. No, whatever I'm saying is correct. Listen to your juniors, listen to them, and at time accept what they are saying if it is required, if it is correct. That is one of the important lessons we get to learn from Balramji. And so again, humility is there because he's listening to his junior brother, younger brother. And so that is one of the avatar of Sri Krishna or of Lord Vishnu, we can say. And then Buddha as the Avtaar, and that is Buddha. Oh, here we find he was born in a Kshatriya family. He was a king, he was a prince, and he takes up the life of a rishi, a Brahmin. You see, Parshuram, what was he? He was a Brahmin living the life of a Kshatriya, and Buddha, who was a Kshatriya living a life of a Brahmin, the enlightened one. And I've heard about this. I've learned from one of the senior guru that Buddha was a person and he was Prince Siddharth. And to become Buddha, he took 24 lives to get that enlightenment. That is what I've learned. And this Buddha, this avatar, we get to learn lessons of compassion and peace. That is, Buddha's teaching emphasizes importance of compassion, empathy, and non-violence. So, as a leader, we should nurture a culture of compassion and empathy amongst our team members within our organization. We should have compassion from one person to another person. And sorry to say, but ENY, we have it's a big CA firm, one of the top CA firm, and one of the girl employee of ENY, she did suicide. She committed suicide because of the work pressure and all that. And so a lot of UN cried happened and all that. One of my student, he was with ENY at that time, and his senior was totally indifferent from what has happened, totally indifferent to the death of that employee. No compassion at all, no empathy at all. That is like very, very, very wrong. No humanity at all for another human being. So that humanness, humanity should be there. Compassion should be there in the leaders. If you want to be a leader, that is what the lesson we get to know. And we should strive to create a peaceful and harmonious work environment. He had stopped slaughtering of animals, no bali should be given and all that. So have a peaceful and harmonious work environment. That is what we get to learn from Lord Buddha about, apart from compassion and this equanimity and humility and empathy. We get to learn about peacefulness and harmonious environment should be created. And the last avatar which is expected, there is a future warrior, the Kalki avatar is expected to come. Here we get a lesson of hope and renewal, that Kalki, which has been prophesied that he's going to come and appear, he is ultimately going to be a symbol, which is going to be a symbol of winning of good over evil. Like Sri Ram has a battle over with Ravan, and on Dashera we say good wins over evil. Same thing we get to learn from Kalki, that there'll be a winning of good over evil, and the restoration of righteousness will happen. And there is a hope, so importance of hope. So leaders must maintain hope even in dark times. That is what we get to learn from a Kalki avatar. Plus, leaders should inspire hope and optimism within their team members. At times, we may have difficult times, situations are there, and challenges are always there. And every time the organization goes down and then again goes up, it goes down, up. Ups and downs are always there. But we have to inspire our team, be optimistic. We cannot be negative. If we are negative, then the team will leave and the organization will go. And there should be a positive. So, as a leader, they should always act as agents of positive change. Okay. And strive to create a better future. There should be never any negative thought or any negativity in leaders. You should be always positive. It should be good. Good days are going to come. There'll be good winning over evil. That is what we get to learn from these 10 avatars of Shri Krishna. Okay. And it's already, yes, Kamit sir, you have a question? Yes, please.
Uh, no, I mean we are nearing the I think ending of
Yes,
this as I
yes, yes.
see.
We are,
So I
we are
just
ending
thought
this
I will
session.
just comment if you permits me so.
Please, sir, please
First
welcome.
of all, compliments that I think you have taken up a very nice topic and done it, presented it very well. That's one thing. Second thing is that I think this is correlating with the 10 avatars is a little different, way of looking at it. I have just few comments to make rather than
Yes.
anything suggestions of any kind. One is
Okay.
that I think it's a wonderful thing that you picked up the good things of all avatars and put them into leadership qualities or correlated with them. However, I must say that whenever we talk about a leader, it's always about the good qualities of leader, and anyone who is at the peak. We talk about, keep talking about, may it be in the today's era, may it be in avatars, may it be in Puranas, may it be any time, they will have some quality. That is why they are always remembered and they reach to such a high levels.
Yes.
So, selectively taking out the things from avatars, I think it's a good exercise, but I think it is possible to do it with any other things, whatever you take it, because leadership is finally something what is we consider it as ideal. So,
100%.
whenever even we talk about the avatars, it's always about the plus and minuses what have come across into them. So,
Yes.
I think whatever you picked up was a good part of it, and because of that they are called as avatars. I think that's the way it
Yes.
is. So
Yes.
compliments once again. I think continue the good work. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And yes, with this, today we will conclude the session, and I'll conclude it if with one of my poem which I've composed. Okay, and this poem also will be a base for our means not base, but yes, uh, few of the incidents from this poem also will be taking and discussing in future. And so with this we'll conclude the session, and I'll just end this session with the poem. And this poem is Shri Krishna Leela, which I've composed. And so, born in jail at Mathura in midnight, brought bliss to Vasudev and Devki after all plight. Shri Krishna is born, carrying supreme in a basket of straw. Vasudev crosses the stormy Yamuna, who was full of love. Shri Krishna arrives in Gokul, visiting Yashoda and Nandaji's home. Vasudev swaps the boy with girls, all alone. Shri Krishna is saved. Sun arrives, bringing Shri Krishna's birth clarity. Nandji's home is full of celebrations and giving charity. Shri Krishna's Nandotsav continues for a year. Kansa at Mathura steps to kill the baby girl, flees from his hand the miracle girl. Shri Krishna is swapped with Yog Maya. Putna arrives to breastfeed poison. Shri Krishna sucks her life and she is gone. Shri Krishna blessed Putna. Trinavatra demon comes as a whirlwind. Heavy is baby Krishna and clutches the neck to wind. Shri Krishna gives salvation to Trinavatra. Baby Krishna plays with mud in mouth. Yashoda glances through the whole universe in mouth. Shri Krishna shows universal form. Naughty is baby Krishna. Mother Yashoda binds Lord Krishna. Shri Krishna delivers Nakula and Manigriva. Shri Krishna, along with Balram, steals Gopi's butter. Vrindavan Gopi's hearts are soft and pure as butter. Shri Krishna is a butter thief. Indra gets annoyed and runs and rains heavily with bad weather. Baby Krishna lifts Govardhan as a feather. Shri Krishna kills ego of Indra. Gopis worship Katyayani and bathes in Yamuna. Shri Krishna steals Gopis' garments, sitting on tree near Yamuna. Shri Krishna is accepted as husband of Gopis. Shri Krishna's playing flute is loved by Radharani. Shri Krishna's dances with Gopis and Radharani. Shri Krishna plays Maharas. Serpent Kalia poisons river Yamuna, considering himself as head. Shri Krishna defeats him and dances on his head. Shri Krishna subdues Kalia. Akrura gets Shri Krishna and Balram to at Mathura. Shri Krishna kills Kansa, the king of Mathura. Shri Krishna relieves his parents Devaki and Vasudeva. For all, Shri Krishna is love. For Radharani and Gopi, his love. Shri Krishna is personification of love. I love you, Shri Krishna. Hari Bol. Thank you. This I written, composed on Janmashtami in 2022. So that's all. So we'll end with this. We'll end the session, and tomorrow, now next Saturday, we'll meet at 8 p.m. So 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. We'll have it for 1 hour, and we'll
Right.
now dive into further leadership qualities, and we'll further dive into Shri Krishna's lives, different incidents of Shri Krishna's lives, where we'll be learning about leadership lessons and a lot of other things. And we'll try to enjoy. Hope you all like it.
Yeah.
Fine.
Thank you so much, Chetan bhai. It was
Thank you.
very
Good
nice.
night.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you very much. Very well done. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be sending a form. I'll need your feedback and your learnings from
Yeah,
today's
thank
session.
you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thanks.
Thank you,
Sure.
Chetan bhai.
Bye.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Hari bol.
Hari Bol.